It took 6 years for creators on the service to earn $1 billion and 15 months to earn the second billion. You can kind of see that winner take all dynamic. You can see those network effects compounding upon themselves. I think they are clearly, the dominant player in their space. I think they could be doing more to stand up for creators being censored.
Patreon. The news here is that they're considering doing an IPO sometime this year. If you don't know what Patreon is, YouTube creators, just, content creators in general, musicians, people with a fan base, with a following, right? It's basically a mechanism for those folks to monetize the fan audience. You can have, you can provide exclusive content to people that sign up for a subscription on Patreon. Patreon allows fans to directly support artists by paying monthly subscription fees starting at $5 a month in exchange for content like live stream videos, merchandise, and private performances. Patreon, platform business, has a take rate. The take rate is 5 to 12% of that monthly revenue. And then payment processing, that is, that's not as much actual margin to them. Jack is the CEO. In September, he said it took 6 years for creators on the service to earn $1 billion and 15 months to earn the second billion. You can kind of see that winner take all dynamic. You can see those network effects compounding upon themselves. The company has they just raised $90 million recently. They raised $90 million last September in 2020. That gave them about a $1.4 billion valuation. And in total, they've raised about a little over $250 million. It's a very strong business. I think they could be doing more to stand up for creators being censored by platform monopolies. They haven't really done that, though. So that would kind of be my critique, just conceptually, right? If your whole thing is supporting creators and creators are undergoing unprecedented censorship. We had Peter Saddington on the show last week, big crypto guy, tech entrepreneur. And what he was saying is, he had 2 shows on YouTube, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, which YouTube banned. Why did this was, this was 2 years ago. This was, before, the political climate has become what it is. But it's because he was talking about crypto and YouTube and crypto. YouTube, kind of wanted to take a conservative stance on crypto and talking about alternative monetary systems. We saw Janet Yellen throw some shade at crypto, bring down the price. People are seeing crypto as a threat. People being in the existing financial system. Crypto is now at about $1 trillion of market cap, basically $1 trillion worth of collective coins in Bitcoin and a series of other altcoins. Anyway, I digress. That would be my hope on Patreon here, is that they could just take a tougher stance on really standing up for creators and creator rights, which basically don't exist. I'm going to touch on Australia in a second. And when platforms hit monopoly scale, what do? They take advantage of their suppliers. Those suppliers on content platforms are largely in part Patreon's customer base. They have others. You could be a small craftsman on Etsy, for example. But still, you're generally going to be a producer on some form of platform. Much of them content platforms. Might be 70% of their users are on the kind of like content social media side. They do have other, producer types that are also using Patreon and, generating income, especially for musicians and this whole community. I mean, you don't really have a mechanism to generate income, or certainly a huge part of your income. Live performances has gone away during COVID. They recently passed $100 million in annualized revenue. That could be really that they are, they had one quarter where they did 25 million in revenue, and then they're annualizing that rate forward and saying, yeah, look, we're on track to do 100 million. I don't know if they've really done 100 million, trailing 12-month 100 million, but still, it's a very strong business. And I think they are clearly, the dominant player in their space. Other people on the kind of tertiary of where Patreon is would be Substack. We saw Twitter buy Review, like the JV competitor to Substack. Apparently, Twitter was trying to come to terms with Substack, but couldn't get the deal done. Again, just poor deal execution. So they went for the much smaller, version of Substack. So Substack helping creators that have kind of email audiences monetize that audience, have, better communication, monetize it, all that kind of stuff. So you're seeing a number of these different kind of creator friendly, either SaaS services that then morph into platforms in this arena. And Patreon's probably, the leader in that space, but there's a bunch of other things kind of behind it that are carving out different niches like a Substack. Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.